What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to episode 2 of the Road to Rank 1 Gladiator. Well, hopefully Rank 1 Gladiator. Today we're going to be going over an actual commentary of a very high-rated game versus some very good players and a comp that's really hard for us to beat, okay? So just jumping right into it, we're actually going to be looking at the Tolvaron Arena as Windwalker Monk, Arcane Mage, and Restoration Druid against Feral Druid, Survival Hunter, and Discipline Priest, also known as Jungle Cleave, right? So this is really hard for us because honestly, like, the Feral and the Hunter combo does a lot of really good CC and also has a huge amount of burst damage when they want to. And then the Priest right now, Priest is like a tier 1 healer and they're very open to killing us very quickly while also staying offensive and being really hard for us to kill. So just jumping right in this, we're fighting some really solid players that were 2,900 or 3K last season, but we do have the favorable map, and I feel like it's important to note that because we have a lot of room to kite. We have a lot of room to get away from the Hunter and peel for our healer and peel for me, whatever they seem to go. They do choose to go onto Starfail, which is our healer. I'm right now trying to find their Hunter or Feral Druid. It's really good if we do find them because they don't get a clear opener. But as you can see, this Priest is running straight at my healer, trying to get CC, and they actually try to go me in the beginning here. It was really odd because I actually invis, and then he just used an ability on me while I was invisible. So I didn't really quite understand that, and I had to end up trinketing. My monk gets an awesome double stun on the DPS, which allows me to begin trying to sheep the Disc Priest. And this Disc Priest is someone that we've been fighting quite a lot lately, and what him and I do is, like, we have this mind game with each other where I polymorph and he uses his Inquisition. And Inquisition makes it so that if he uses the Inquisition before I land the polymorph, then he gets out of the polymorph, right? So I kind of have to, like, juke that, fake cast that, and hopefully get it. But I actually could have just finished that poly right there. He wouldn't have cast Inquisition because he wasn't paying attention to me, and I didn't know that. I was just trying to play that mind game when I didn't really have to. So it's just part of the playstyle with me against Flayax. But we go for a lot of damage onto the Feral Druid right here. We get him pretty low, but since Absolution is on Flayax and actually do an Arcane Torrent and Polymorph combo, which is really, really effective, it's really hard for that. Even though we overlap CC, it's really hard to get poly, so I kind of just had to go for it, and Starfell ended up cloning when he had the opportunity to as well. So we have the Feral pretty low right now. Flay actually jukes my counterspell and ends up recovering on the Feral Druid side, but what's really, really awesome there is I just got a quadruple Arcane Barrage. So they were all grouped up. I used Arcane Barrage on them, and all of them are slowed by Chrono Shift by 50%. Super useful because you can't dispel Chrono Shift, which means that my Druid is actually going to be getting away really well and won't have any issues with that. We're somehow keeping the Feral Druid pretty low right now, and he still has his PvP trinket, so he's pretty hard for us to kill. But we do get a lot of damage out onto the Feral Druid right here, and then we force out the barrier cooldown, which was really nice. I use Mark of a Luneth, and I start casting Arcane Missiles, and I'm going for a sheep off of Starfail's Bash. He's in a position right now where he can't clone the Priest, but he also can't be CC'd by the Priest, so if he, like, goes for a bash on the Priest fearing Starfail doesn't matter because they're trying to kill Starfail, right? So he actually just ends up bashing the Priest, and I land a polymorph out of it since my Druid can't cast a Cyclone, but I can cast a polymorph, and he won't be able to use his Inquisition whenever he is in bash, obviously, right? So we get a full sheep onto the Flays. We get a lot of pressure out here. I can't really Arcane Orb because the Disc Priest is in a really odd spot, so I end up not being able to do a whole lot of damage, so I just have to cast polymorph, and at this point, this is where a really important part of the game is. The Feral Druid uses Incarnation. So Incarnation is an ability right now that is very, very powerful. It does a huge amount of burst damage, and it allows Feral Druid teams to kill somebody through all sorts of healing, through all defensive cooldowns. It doesn't really matter. But Starfail he is able to land his bear form, which is very useful. But the problem is, like, Incarn right now is, like, so strong that we can't really do anything about it. So I have to, like, try to Arcane Orb, and we're trying to just kind of overwhelm them with pressure. You see Starfail goes down to, like, 20%. He has to use his Bark Skin, Iron Bark, and Overgrowth right there. That's why I healed him up, and we actually end cap into stun the Feral Druid. The stun, or he trinkets the stun, which sets us up for a kill in about 25 seconds or so. He goes into bear form, is trying to catch up, but I'm peeling the Survival Hunter, and we're just trying to save our healer's life right now, man. It's super hard because of Incarn, and it lasts 30 seconds, but we're trying to get through. We are making it, and I end up actually trying to CC the enemy Priest in just a moment here, and then that's where we are going to be able to land our kill. So as you can see, I'm getting a pretty solid amount of burst damage up, and I also have Presence of Mind and Arcane Power ready to go. I mass invis myself so that I can land a full polymorph, and here's actually part of that mind game I was talking about. So I mass invis, Flay's a really good player, so he knows that I'm Mass Invis, and I can cast Polymorph while in Mass Invis. So I actually cast Mass Invis, and I delay myself. I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm going to wait. I'm going to stare at this priest. I'm going to see if he uses Inquisition. And you'll see a little Omnibar button pop up in just a second. So I've got 2 seconds left of uninterruptible Polymorphs right now. 1 second left, and then boom, you see he uses his Inquisition, and that sets me up for a beautiful Polymorph right at the end of his Inquisition, and we're in a position now where we can actually kill. I don't have any Arcane Charges, so I'm actually casting Arcane Blast, and then he interrupts me, but we land a full Cyclone onto the Priest, which is very useful, and right now the Pharaoh's like peeing his pants, okay? So he wants to get away from us, my Windwalker and myself. I have my Arcane Power, I've got my Presence of Mind, and I will have full stacks, full charges ready to go, and he's running around the pillar, but both of our classes are extremely mobile, so that's a mistake on his part. Shenzi actually could have been saved by Flay if he stayed in line of sight and ran that way, but instead he ran towards the pillar and tried to line of sight like most Pharaohs do. But we were actually able to catch up to him, and he puts himself in a position where we do a huge amount of burst damage to him, and he can't really be healed. I get a double crit Arcane Blast and Fist of Fury from Buffalo Bill, and we end up landing the kill without them using Pain Suppression, and without any type of like overall healing because of Shenzi's mistake on his positioning. So that's something to note. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video. This is a video I wanted to show you guys on my journey to Rank 1 Gladiator. I'm actually live streaming most of these games over at twitch.tv/cartoonslive at 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. CST. I'm actually trying out the whole live streaming thing and giving it a shot. It's definitely going to be interesting to see. I might not live stream towards the later part of the season, like the last couple days, if we continue pushing. But overall, it's been a really, really solid couple days of queues. We've had some losses recently, but we've also had some gains, and we've learned a lot, and we've become better players, and that's really important for us. So please be sure to show this series some support if you're enjoying this right now. I know you guys enjoy the last few videos, but the best way you can support the series is just by clicking the like button, and also comment down below if you guys have enjoyed the series so far or any thoughts on this video overall. And you can also subscribe to my YouTube channel for future videos on this series. So thank you so much for watching, everybody, and I will see you all tomorrow for another video that will be featuring a game with team comms as opposed to just my commentary. So yeah, see you guys tomorrow.